12 years ago or 13 years ago when I was coaching rec league soccer, the chair of a department at the university thought that I was really good with irascible, misbehaving boys, and she thought that those skills might translate well to the college level. So she asked me if I would teach a class in her department, and that started with one class with about 20 people, and now I teach 2 classes a semester with about 100 students. I didn't hear this firsthand, but apparently Sean Schaefer, former quarterback here, was asked in an interview who his favorite professor was, and he said me, which I thought was really cool. But to see the kids that I have in class out on not just out on the playing field, but also doing positive things in the community is a fairly constant source of reward for me. A strong athletic department creates an esprit de corps, it enhances diversity, and it builds community in ways that virtually no other aspect of a university can. I've seen that in person where I went to graduate school. I've seen it here, especially with the new athletic department staffing. And when I come to Towson, I feel like I'm at home. So I want to do everything I can to try to make that experience be the same way for everybody else. In order to do that, we need money. No athletic department can survive based on government funding or tuition dollars. They need support of private people in order to be successful and in order to help the community at large. I try to bring colleagues and friends to as many events, not just athletics, but also lectures, plays, dance performance, gospel, a cappella recitations, because we're an undiscovered gem. We're a great big school with a small school feel. We have D1 athletics accessible. You just don't get that anywhere. One of the highlights that jumps to mind is when the women beat Maryland in basketball. That was one of the coolest sporting events I'd ever been to. To see my student athletes sit front and center in my classes, come to me afterwards and say, hey, I have to miss a class because of this game. What do I have to do to make up the work? That just shows that things are working the way they should be. So I can't really point to one specific item. You can see a huge change, for example, in the atmosphere at the football games. I'm glad I was here when they didn't do well, because I saw all the work that went into it, and I got to see the fruition last year. I think we're going to have the same thing in basketball. I've been to a couple practices. I've gotten to know a lot of the guys. I think the new coach is fantastic. I think it's going to be really fun. It's going to be great to be able to say, hey, I was here when. So I'm really excited and looking forward to the future.